Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this morning yoga practice. My name is An, and I am so grateful that you choose to welcome this new day with me today. In this yoga practice, we are going to wake up our body and our mind and get ready for a new day, new experiences, and start settling into our body after sleep. I hope that you're going to enjoy, and without further ado, let's dive right into. Of course, if you want to use any props like a block, feel welcome and feel free to modify or adjust your body if needed. You know your body the best. I am just here to give you some inspiration, and let's go and flow together. As it's the morning and we will probably all still feel tired, let's go and start in wide-legged child's pose. If this pose is not available to you, you can always bring your knees back together. But if this pose is working for you, let your knees fall roughly mat distance apart and fold forward into Balasana, your child's pose. Stretch out the arms long in front of you and let your forehead sink into the mat. Start arriving in the space. Start noticing any sensations that might be coming up in your body. We have probably just woken up, so we might be feeling still a little bit stiff. It's nice to take the time to really arrive and use the time here to set an intention for your practice, or really an intention for the rest of your day. Start taking a few deep breaths. Let the body melt into the floor. And let your next inhale help you in slowly coming up, walking the hands back, and find any easy seated position of your choice. As we're just arriving in our day, let's take a few deep breaths in cooperation with some movement. So inhale, the arms up overhead, maybe gaze follows. Exhale, hands lower. Inhale, the arms back up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, the arms back up and lower back down. Maybe this time with our inhale, we're bringing the arms back up. And with our exhale, arms or hands in front of our face, we are pushing the energy down with our next inhale, starting to really root into our body. 2 more times like this. Inhale. Exhale, pushing the energy down. Inhale, maybe longest inhale yet. And a slow, soft exhale down. From here, let's find seated cat-cow movement. With our inhale, we bring our chest forward, gaze rises. And exhale, we round the spine, gaze towards our navel, head falls forward. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we bow. Maybe taking your arms with you with our inhale, raising the arms up. Slight back bend here. Exhale, arms in front of our chest, stretched out round. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And with our exhale, our right hand comes down towards our side, and our exhale brings us over, stretches us over. Side body stretch. I find that especially in the morning, I'm really stiff, so it's a little bit more difficult for me, but it feels so good to stretch the side of a body. Breathe here. Let the inhale carry you back up, and let the exhale bring you to the other side. It's always nice to remember our breath here, so let every inhale lengthen you, stretch you a little bit over. So if somebody is pulling you by the hand towards your left side, and every exhale, try to twist open a little bit more, trying to project your chest towards the ceiling. One more breath. Let the inhale carry you back up, carefully coming onto all fours into tabletop position. From here, our hips are over our knees, our shoulders are over our wrists. With the next inhale, we raise the right arm up, and exhale, we twist it under the left, coming onto our right shoulder. Gaze follows into the same direction for thread the needle. Now, a few options here. I'm gonna turn so you can see a little bit better, but you stay on the side you're on. So what you can do here is either let your hand stay in front of your face supporting you. Maybe you are stretching the arm out in front of you, deepening the stretch. Or maybe you even feel like this morning you want to come in for a bind, grab for the opposite thigh of your leg, wrapping your arm around your back. If you are in a bind and you're comfortable, maybe you play with straightening the opposite leg, so the same leg of the side that your arm is on that you have put into a bind. And maybe if you're comfortable here, you can play with lifting up the leg. A little bit of balance here, bringing in some heat. Carefully set the leg back down, bring it back, stretch the arm up, and bring it back in front of your face. Inhale, twists you open. Exhale, brings you back into tabletop. And we're taking the other side. I have just switched, so I'm going to do the other. Inhale, exhale to thread. And now take any variation with your arm that you like. Maybe straightening the leg, maybe lifting it up, playing with balance. If you fall out here, don't worry. We're just playing. We're just exploring our body. We're just beginning to awaken. Bring your hand back if you were in a bind or have stretched it out. And inhale your arm out of the twist and back up. Beautiful. From here, we are carefully lowering down completely to the ground, letting our hands stay under our shoulder, pressing the soles of the feet so much into the mat that our knees lift, engaging our core, pressing our pubic bone into the floor. And with your next inhale, you lift up carefully, maybe baby cobra, maybe full cobra. Be mindful of your lower back here. And breathe. With the exhale, carefully lower back down. With your next inhale, come back up, cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, this time, come onto your knees and push yourself back into child's pose. With the inhale, you come back forward, cobra or baby cobra. And exhale, you come back, child's pose. A few more rounds like this with your breath. Be really mindful of your lower back here. There's also no need to rush. Next time you're in child's pose, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and press up into your first downward facing dog of the day. Make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart. Hands are pressing into the floor. Spine is straight. Your feet don't need to completely touch the floor. Maybe you start walking your feet, twisting out a little bit here. Maybe you lift your feet, maybe you lift a leg. Make any movement that feels good for you this morning. And then with your next inhale, bring the right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hips, and start rolling out your ankles. First one side, then the other. And then carefully set the foot back down. The right leg lifts, bend it, and start rolling out your feet as well. Then come back, downward facing dog. And with your next exhale, carefully walk your hands slowly up towards your wrist. Feet are together. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And inhale brings you up into standing. Maybe arms lift overhead. And exhale, hands at heart center. Before we stop flowing through a sun salutation, as this is a morning practice, let's take another side stretch here. So inhale the arms up, and our right hand grabs our left wrist, and we stretch over towards the right side. Inhale brings back up, switch the grab of your hands, and stretch over to the other side. One more time like this, each side. And bring your hands at heart center. Let's begin to flow here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale the hands overhead, maybe slight back bend here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step the right foot back, knee meets the mat, chest projects forward. Exhale, bring the left foot to the right. In retention, bring knees, chin, and chest towards the floor. And then inhale into cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, come back into this mountain pose. And inhale, the right leg steps forward, knee is grounded, gaze is up. Exhale, step back into forward fold. And inhale brings you back up, slight back bend here. Exhale, hands at heart center. Do the other side. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the left leg this time steps back, knee roots, chest and gaze lifted. Exhale, right foot to left. In retention, knees, chest, and chin to the floor. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, Pavatasana, press back. And inhale, left foot steps forward, right knee roots. Exhale into forward folds. Inhale to lift, slight back bend here, hands overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Beautiful. Now we're doing another variation of sun salutation. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. This time inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, hand root down, step back into plank. Inhale here, exhale to lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest projects forward, gazes up, and exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Really regulate. Feel your hands pressing into the mat. Feel your connection to the earth. And then carefully step your feet back towards your hands. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And inhale to rise back up into standing. Exhale, hands at heart center. From here, we're going to step our right foot back, coming into a high lunge. Arms rise overhead, strong here. Now, let's come into eagle arms. So wrap your left arm under the right, maybe bend once, maybe twice. Raise the arms up. Inhale here. And our exhale, we fold forward towards the inside of our right or left knee, coming into humble warrior with eagle arms variation. Breathe here. With your next inhale, you come up halfway, straighten the spine, you keep the arms. Now shift the weight forward towards your left leg so much that you come onto the tippy toes of your right leg. And then maybe from here, you can lift up into warrior three, feet is flexed. Maybe you lose a little bit of balance, that is okay. Your next inhale brings you up into standing, right leg into your chest. Release the bind, maybe arms overhead. Come in this variation of tree pose. Your feet are not touching your leg, but they are kind of like hovering in the air. I'm going to turn so you can see. Feel strong here. Breathe, and then carefully lower everything down, and let's do the other side. So inhale the arms back up and stepping back with your left foot this time. High lunge crescent pose. Feel strong towards your left and right leg. And now let's take eagle arms on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, humble warrior variation, fold forward, eagle arms. Breathe here. Your next inhale, carefully lift so that your chest is parallel to the floor. Push yourself off the left leg so much you're coming onto your tippy toe. So maybe from here, you can come into your warrior three variation with eagle arms. Straighten the right leg, flex the left foot. Hold. Embrace the shakes. And inhale, come back up. Left knee towards chest. Release the arms. Stretch them up towards the sky. Come in the variation of your tree pose. You can also always root your foot down. This is too shaky for you, that is fine. And exhale. Lower everything down. Good job. From here, we inhale the arms back up. And exhale, we fold forward. Knees are also always allowed to be bent, especially in the morning. It can be quite challenging to straighten your legs, so don't worry. From here, we bring our left hand towards the middle of our feet, and then inhale, our right arm up for this forward fold twist. Stretch your arm up a little bit more, and then root into your left hand, bring it closer towards your left foot, and then bend into the knees and step back with your left foot in this variation of twisted low lunge. Next exhale, carefully sinks your back knee down, and inhale, the arms up, low lunge. Breathe it here. Feel the stretch. And then their exhale, carefully start straightening the front leg, maybe with hands, maybe with no hands. Come into half splits. Maybe your arms fly behind you like airplanes. Always an option to bring your hands in front. Once again, this is a hamstring stretch that can be really intense in the morning. And from here, come back into your low lunge. Arms lift, back knee off the mat. And we're stepping forward. Arms up and exhale, coming back into a forward fold to do this full thing on the other side. So right hand roots, left arm lifts up. Try to keep your hips square. And then bring the right hand more towards your right leg and step it back into this variation of a twisted low lunge. Then with the next exhale, lower your knee down, and inhale brings both arms up, low lunge. Breathe it here, breathe into the opening of the hips. Can be very intense, but it's also a very nice stretch. At least I feel like it. And then maybe with hands, maybe with no hands. Straighten the front leg and come into half splits. Maybe airplane the arms back, maybe put them next to your feet. It's not about how deep we go, but rather about how it feels, and it's supposed to be a nice stretch, not too painful. And then from here, come back into a low lunge. This time, we're not stepping up, but rather bringing the left knee towards the right knee. From here, keeping your hips over your knees, come onto your hands and carefully walk them forward so much so you can bring your forehead, your chin, or even your chest towards the ground. Puppy pose. This is a nice stretch for the shoulders. Once again, might feel a little bit intense in the morning, but I think we've warmed up the body quite enough so that this is accessible for all of us. And I think it's a stretch that feels really, really good. From here, carefully ripple back forward onto your forearms. Bring your hips down, coming into Sphinx pose. Engage your legs once again. Press your pubic bone into the floor and engage the core. You can either stay here, or if you want a little bit more on your back is fine. You can press into your hands, coming into this variation. Seal pose. Breathe it here. Be very mindful of your lower back. Feel the opening of your chest. And from here, if you've been into seal, carefully come back into Sphinx. And from here, walk your hands back a little bit, pressing up into seated position. bringing the soles of our feet together for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. The further you place your feet away from your body, the easier the pose will feel like. So adjust that to your liking and then bring the thumbs towards the soles of the feet to help you push them open and fold forward to get deeper into this pose. Now, this pose is very intense hip opener, and it can feel even more intense when we're really stressed because we store a lot of emotions in our hips. So if you're not able to fold forward today, that is fine. You can also stay upright. It doesn't matter how deep you can go into a pose, as long as you're still able to feel the full effects of it. That is what modifications are for. We are all at different levels, and on some days you might be able to go really deep into a pose, and on another day that might not be accessible to you, and that is completely fine. When you're ready, carefully come back up. Bring your knees together and find a seated position of your choice, whatever feels good to you this morning. Now, as this is a morning practice, I will not guide you through Shavasana, but as always, here's an option to take your Shavasana. So you can pause this video and find your way there. Or if you want to, you feel energized, you can close this practice with me right away. So close the eyes, maybe bring the hands at heart center. Bring your attention back to yourself. And find gratitude for the time you took for yourself. Maybe see how things might have shifted from when you started this practice to now. And remember your intention for this practice and keep it present in your mind while you move on with your day. Bring your hands towards the forehead for clear thoughts, your mouth for true words, and your heart for pure intentions. Thank you so much for your trust and for practicing with me. Thank you, and have a beautiful day, my beautiful soul.